Hey, it's your girl Chab. Today I'm coming at you with this Halloween look right here. I am bringing you deterioration. I'm bringing you burnt scabs, blood, burnt face, two-faced but woman version vibes here, everything like that. But then I also have glam on this side. You could definitely use this look to amp up any of your makeup looks right here. All the products that I've used are definitely readily available at your Halloween stores and Party City, Spirit Halloween, wherever you have it. They are usually open at the end of September and early October. Speaking of October, your girl Chad right here is going to be bringing you all Halloween looks for the month of October here, and I will just give you a little inspo here and there and everywhere. We're gonna do gory, we're gonna do glam, we're gonna do everything like that. So if you want to get this easy peasy look right here that you not necessarily have to do on your face, but you could do it on your body, then let's get started. All right guys, so first thing I'm gonna do is completely cover my eyebrows. I'm gonna prep using a alcohol here. This is a rubbing alcohol. I'm gonna spray it onto a cotton ball, wipe it onto the eyebrow so that way I get any of the oils off. Then I'm gonna go in with my Elmer's glue and I'm going to just layer this on top until it's completely smoothed down and completely flat. This is not only gonna protect my eyebrows to make sure that they don't come off from the liquid latex, but also that I got a smooth canvas for everything else that I'm putting on top of it. And then also I'm gonna set down the glue using the Kat Von D setting powder. So let us go. All right guys, now that the eyebrow is completely covered and protected, what I'm gonna do is kind of wipe off some of the excess makeup that I have from this side of my face. So I'm gonna do kind of like right here. The nose is gonna be clear, and also the mouth area and the chin on this side is gonna be clear of makeup. And then also I'm on the edges, I'm gonna put just a little bit of alcohol. This may irritate the skin if you are sensitive, so just be careful. Do a little test before you do this. What this is going to do is, you know, some of the oils on the makeup wipe or from your natural skin is going to lift up the liquid latex that we're going to put on. So you just want to make sure that it adheres properly. So let's just wipe out the makeup and do the rest. All right, now I'm gonna go in with my toilet paper right here. We are going to just take a couple of sheets. We don't need to use the whole roll, okay guys? And then I'm also going to go in with my liquid latex. What I'm gonna do is lay down the liquid latex onto the edges of the face right here, so where the makeup and the bare skin meet. And then I'm gonna lay some of the tissue down. Now what I'm gonna do before I even lay them down is I'm gonna rip up the tissue and stuff. We don't want any lines. So what I'm gonna do is, if you have 2-ply, if you have 4-ply, whatever, I got 2-ply here, I'm gonna take them apart so that way we have a thin pieces of toilet paper, and I'm just gonna keep ripping them like this. I don't want any straight edges like this. I want it to be jagged and beautiful and nice like that, so it'll replicate skin that is coming off. And what I'm gonna do when I lay it down is I'm gonna take just the edge like that, the edge of the toilet paper, and stick part of it onto the liquid latex, and the other part, just a tiny bit of it, is going to be exposed. You'll see what I mean. So I'm just gonna do this, so let's go. It looks like California. Next, what I'm gonna do is take my Q-tip that I've been laying down the glue with, or latex, I should say, and I'm going to start to layer some of this liquid latex on top of what I have here, the tissue paper. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna make it a little more firm, so that way when I'm peeling it, it's not looking like paper or tissue, it's gonna look like skin. And that way also the integrity of the skin will hold up. Just make sure that you apply a whole lot. You can also do this with a brush, but I don't want to mess up any of my brushes, so that's why I'm using Q-tips. Alright, so while that's drying, I'm gonna start ripping up some more tissue, and I'm gonna just sporadically add it to my face to create some texture. Kind of going back to my like scar video, I'll link it somewhere up above right here in the cards. You're gonna pretty much just kind of layer it on and then put latex on top of it, and then just open it up like you have scars, like cuts all over your face. In this case, we're having like scab wounds from being burnt. We're gonna do that throughout the whole entire face. It's gonna be a little hard to speak. It feels like you're a paper mache gone wrong. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna actually let this dry a little bit before I start applying my foundation on. The foundation I will be using is actually this Luminess Ultra Airbrush foundation, and I have the shade 2. The reason why I'm using this is number 1, this is a very reddish foundation. We want to have kind of like a cool tone base for this because we are burnt, our skin is irritated. So I don't want it to match my yellowish foundation. I want it to be something that is a little more on the cooler side, redder side. Number 2, I want to use an airbrush because that way I don't disturb any of the texture that I have going on here. If you do not have an airbrush, that is a-okay. You could go in with a stippling brush, somewhat like this one right here. This is the Sonia Kashuk number 124. I know it's discontinued, but e.l.f. carries a stippling brush. I have it right here. You can use any kind of stippling brush. What that's gonna do is just apply the foundation right here without applying way too much. If you apply too much foundation, it'll start to sag and it'll start to melt off, and you do not want that to happen. You want everything to kind of stay in place. Just add a very light layer to the skin because you're just trying to cover up the white from the tissue paper. That's all you're doing, just to make it look kind of like skin, but irritated skin, you feel me? So I'm gonna let this dry, then I'm gonna start to airbrush my face. If you are using airbrush makeup, just make sure that you shake it up so that the pigment mixes. If you're mixing colors, what you do is you drop it into the well here, you put your finger on the little air hole, and then you pull back while it's turned on, and what it's gonna do is gonna bubble. Before I turn this on and start spraying my face, what I'm gonna do to get good coverage all over the face is I'm gonna keep this relatively half arm's length, if that makes sense. Just not too close, otherwise it's gonna concentrate too much product, but far enough that it gets an even coat on everything. You may want to cover your hair for this, but for the sake of this video, I don't really care because I'm gonna take this off right after I finish filming. Let us go! Alright, so I'm just gonna wait like a minute or so for the makeup to dry. Usually it dries very instantly, which is great. That's why it's great to use airbrush systems. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some tweezers. Very carefully, I'm gonna go in and start to peel off some of the tissue paper that is mixed with the liquid latex to make open wounds and things. And I'm gonna just sporadically do that all over the face. And also on the edges here, I'm just gonna lift up just a little bit because we're gonna shade this area here in a moment. So let's go. All right, y'all, now that I have opened up some of these scabs and things, I'm gonna go in with my black cream paint, and I'm going to take a stippling brush and start to shade and fill in all the deeper parts, the open wounds, with the black first. And then on top, I'm gonna layer some of the red. And then at the very end, all over, I'm gonna take a sponge, kind of like this. This is a porous sponge right here, not a beauty blender, okay? You don't wanna mess up your beauty blenders. I'm gonna take just this porous sponge right here and start to stipple a mixture of the black and the red together all over the skin to create more texture and emphasize it. So let's go. Alright, so I'm going to take some red eyeliner and I'm just going to fill in my waterline here just to make it look really like swollen and irritated. And then I'm also going to do some of my little fake blood just on like the darker areas and on my nose here because we're bleeding on the outside and the inside, whatever. Anyway, let's go. Alright right, y'all, this is the final look right here. This look you could honestly incorporate with anything and just make it your own. You don't have to just necessarily put it on your face. You put it on your arms, you put it on your body, you put it on your butt cheek. You could be a burnt Power Ranger, you can use it to be a zombie, anything like this and stuff. This is actually really simple to do, just very time consuming. If you're allergic to latex, don't use latex. You can use gelatin. Any of these techniques you could use as your own and take your look to the next level. All these products here, they're very accessible. I got them majority from the Halloween store, which usually opens up in the late September time. Yeah, hopefully you could use these techniques and amp up your Halloween looks. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and follow me on all these social medias down below right here. And ding hit that notification bell because your girl make new videos every Friday. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or what you would like to see next. As always, thank you for watching. Bye. Whoa, it feels like everything was so loud. Rate these to anything, any kind of like, what am I saying? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna actually stippling I'm gonna go scare somebody now.